There once was a stock that put to sea. The name of the stock was GME. The price blew up and the shorts dipped down. Hold my bully boys, hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go.
What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video, we're going to be talking about GameStop stock. Is this a once in a decade opportunity? I'm going to be going over a company that experienced similar type of price action due to a short squeeze more than a decade ago. We're going to be talking about if that kind of similar price action can happen to GameStop. We're also going to be hearing from one of the billionaires that took a position on GameStop. What is he doing right now? And what is the outlook for this company moving forward? I'm going to be going over an update of all the other short squeeze potential candidate companies that we talked about, on AMC, Bbby. I'm going to cover all those companies. So all these important information coming up. Before we get into the video, I appreciate if you can hit the like button. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. We have more than 10,000 people turn on the notification. So I really appreciate that. And if you want to stay up to date on these specific companies, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So as you can see right here, we have GameStop stock. It's up 134% today alone, and afterwards it's pulling back a little bit to the downside. So as I mentioned, is this company once in a decade opportunity? So in order to compare it, we're going to be looking back to exactly a scenario that happened more than a decade ago in 2008, where Volkswagen was actually squeezing up and the stock went up to $1,000. So when we talked about shorts, what short sellers, what they do exactly on the past previous videos, they actually look for companies that could potentially be going down and potentially go bankrupt. So they make money if the stock price goes to the downside. So at that point in time in 2008, Volkswagen fit that criteria. So we had a lot of people, a lot of hedge funds that shorted the company. So in 2008, we have a lot of companies that was going under. The financial crisis happened, and this was just a prime candidate for short sellers to attack this company. So that is exactly what they did. So when you look at a company, if you're trying to short it, usually there is no ceiling. It can theoretically go to infinity. So when you actually buy a stock, it can only go to zero. So if you put in, let's say, $5,000 in a company, you buy it, you can only lose $5,000 if it goes to zero. Even though it goes bankrupt, you're only going to be losing $5,000. However, if you actually short a company, let's say you shorted, at that point in time at $500, or you shorted around $100 of Volkswagen stock, it could theoretically go to, 1,000, maybe above that. There's no limit for this stock to go to the upside. So that is why it's usually referred to as an infinite squeeze that happens. So usually this kind of stuff happens a lot in the past, not only to Volkswagen, also in the 90s. There are the companies that actually experience a similar type of price action. So this company can go to $1,000 more than a decade ago. Can GameStop experience the same type of price action? So as you can see over here, this is kind of the similar price action that happened to Volkswagen. So the most important thing that you want to be looking at when you compare it to Volkswagen is that currently the GameStop short sellers, they're over leveraged. They're over the top. They're shorting more than 100% of GameStop shares. So that is exposing them to a lot of risk. And right now, as I mentioned on yesterday's video, they are not backing down. So what could potentially happen for a GameStop stock now is it could potentially, the short sellers can be forced to cover, even though they're still battling this company. We might see some price actions like Volkswagen. So it shot up all the way to $1,000, and this happened within a matter of hours, within a matter of a day, that the stock price went all the way up and then it went down. So usually when you see price action like this is mainly due to they're having a hard time covering. So maybe they do not want to close out their positions. Maybe they're forced because they're over leveraged. They have more than billions and billions of dollars that they have. And if the creditors or the people that they're borrowing money to short this company, then this can potentially be going to $1,000 within a matter of hours. So you have to be looking out for that. And as I mentioned yesterday, they're not backing down. The short sellers are not backing down. So they're actually they have a high conviction. So just like on Volkswagen, when you see a prime candidate for a company that can potentially be going bankrupt, you definitely going to see short sellers battling, to stay in it. This is going to be who's going to outlast who. So now we have a lot of retail investors that are coming in. They're looking at the opportunity. They're investing in it. They're getting involved in it. They're saying they're not going to be selling their shares no matter what. So that could potentially be the one that's going to be driving this specific stock to even go higher. But let's talk about the other companies. So we have AMC stock, which is up 301%. So we talked about this company a few days ago when it was like trading like below $7, like $4. So right now it's up 301% to the upside. A lot of people are aggressively getting involved in this company. We also talked about BBY. It's up 43%. We also have other people that are, lacking. Bbby, which is BlackBerry, which is also up 32% today. It's relatively not that much. But the main one of the talk of the town is AMC. A lot of people are getting involved in this company. As you can see over here, the stock price is just going up a lot. And after hours, it went down to $11.70. So we'll see tomorrow if this price action continues. It's down 41% to the downside. So as we can see, the down 41%, up 50%. This is going to be really dramatic. But let's hear from the billionaire that got involved in GameStop and what is he doing right now? What is the outlook for GameStop? So let's check out that video.
Next guest, he tweeted on Tuesday that he'd gone long through call options. Chamath Palihapitiya is the CEO of Social Capital. He joins us now on the phone. Chamath, thank you for being here.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So you tweeted yesterday that you bought $115 calls in GameStop. Can you tell me what your position is as of this very moment?
Yeah. Can I tell you a little story before all of that, or no?
Why don't you tell me that first, and then we'll go from there.
So this morning I woke up after spending all last night in WALLSTREETBETS, reading about all of this stuff. I ended up closing up my position this morning, and I wanted to announce that I'm taking all the profits that I made, plus my original position. So I'm going to take $500,000, and I'm going to donate to the Barstool Fund for Small Businesses. But I really want to tell you, beyond the 500 grand donation or the money that I invested, which was, not a huge amount in the grand scheme of that stock or the entire market, what I learned, because I think what I learned over the last couple of days is important for everybody that's watching CNBC.
And that is?
I think that what you're seeing is essentially a pushback against the establishment in a really important way. You have a lot of people, and I would encourage anybody who is dismissive of this thing to go into WALLSTREETBETS and actually just read the forums. And I think that you're going to see three kinds of posts. The first kind of content are a lot of people doing some incredible fundamental diligence on companies, trying to think about long-term value. And in my opinion, many of them are doing as good and, frankly, a better job than a lot of hedge fund analysts that I work with. That's number one. The second are a lot of people who believe that, coming out of 2008, what happened was Wall Street took an enormous amount of risk, and they left retail as the bag holder. And a lot of these kids were in grade school and high school when that happened. They lost their homes. Their parents lost their jobs. And they've always wondered, why did those folks get bailed out for taking enormous amounts of risk and nobody helped and showed up to help my family? And then the third thing is a realization that instead of having idea dinners or, quiet whispered conversations amongst hedge funds in the Hamptons, these kids have the courage to do it transparently in a forum. And I'm not saying all of it is perfect by any means, but I think it takes an enormous amount of faith in the system to be that transparent, to talk about things, and then for each individual to make their own mind up and to do things, whether it's to buy and to sell.
As you saw from the video, he covered his position. So later on, I'm going to be posting another video. We're going to go over WALLSTREETBETS. What are the massive amounts of gains people are making right now and what could potentially be their next stock pick. So we're going to talk about all of that in the next video. So make sure you stay tuned. But if you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to be early at AMC. Get in at $5 or $6. If you want to stay up to date information about all these stocks, make sure you subscribe. But I'll catch you guys on another video in a few hours. Peace out.